it's Christmas if I uploaded this right. So, since it's Christmas, I thought I would show you some of my gifts that I'm making for whoever. Doesn't matter really. The main gift I want to show off is this mini arcade cabinet. It's already been 3D printed out for the most part. I have all the parts for it. Now I just got to put it together really. The main thing that's going to be powering this is my old Raspberry Pi. This is a Raspberry Pi 3. I think like a 3B or something like that. I kind of forgot at this point. It's been so long since I've touched this thing. Um, so we're going to be using this. This is currently not programmed yet. So I got to reprogram it for what I want it to do, which is pretty much emulation is what we're doing. We're going to run emulation station on this thing and then pretty much run it uh, in an arcade cabinet as part of a gift. And it's only going to have one game on it, and you'll see it when we get to it. But since I have to program this, we're going to move over to my computer and program it with screen sharing. So we'll head over there real quick. All right, now that we're at the PC, we can start working on getting the Raspberry Pi set up with RetroPie. I am using a guide that I used back when I first got this thing and initially did RetroPie on this thing. Since then, I was messing with it, so it got wiped. That's why we're redoing it now. I will put a link in the description for that guide if you want to follow it. Just keep in mind, this guide was uploaded back in 2016 and is meant for the Raspberry Pi 3 and 2, not 4 and above, which I think we're on 4 or 5 currently. But the guide still works for me. So that's what we're going to stick with. If you want a full-on explanation of how to do this, go check him out instead, because I'm pretty much going to half-ass through this. So let's get into it. So I need to first format everything. Yeah, quick format. Yeah. So I already plugged in my SD card. It's 128 gigs. That's why it's labeled that. We're going to label it RetroPie, so I know. And then we're going to format. Formatting will erase all data. Yes, I am aware. I didn't check what was on there before I did that. I'm sure it's fine. All right, now that's formatted. We are going to work on imaging. So we're going to pull up the image file, which is in my desktop. Why can't I find it? What's the name? Oh, it's literally called Windows. Okay. All right. So we got the image file ready. Now we just have to get the device, which is RetroPie, so that is correct. So now we are going to write onto the image. It's probably, oh, it's only 30 seconds. Wow. Times have changed. It took like 2-3 minutes in the past. And this was, I guess that was also the time of Windows 10 and 7 running at the same time. So, you know, write has been successful. That's a lot of stuff. I hope I don't need to use it. I don't think, oh, okay. SD card formatter can go away. Thank you. Write has been successful. This should be everything that I need to do is just literally image the SD card, and now we can go back to the actual RetroPie. All right, we're back at the desk. So now what we can do is plug this in, and then this should be loaded with RetroPie. However, before we do that, I just remembered that we technically need something to control this with. So we're going to put together the controller now. So since this is an arcade stick, we're going to be putting buttons and joysticks, and then there's a start and select button down there. So that's what we're going to be doing. So here's my bag of shit. Let me actually get everything I need out of this stupid pile. Okay, there's my joystick. I think that's a Y. Is there an L and R? There is an L and R. B, there's A. That's an X. I'm going to call that the start button. And that's the select button. Okay, I think we're good. So let's get that together. Oh, right, I need the motherboard too, but we'll grab that here in a second. Right now, we just want to get all of these in place here. So these are very simple. You just put them in and then you screw them on. I put these letters in forever ago. You normally, in order to do that, there's like a little tab here. Shit. Technical difficulties aside, we're back again. So Now, I don't even remember where I was, but we're putting buttons in. That's all I remember. So we're going to get the buttons back in. So let me get the R button. And then we just... Oh, and then we get the flat side, and then we just screw that buddy in. Alright, and now that's not able to turn, and it's pressing without issues. And we're just doing it for the rest. Now that the buttons are closer together, this makes it a bit more difficult to get it on. Man, that was fucking simple. I was expecting that to be the hardest, but I guess it wasn't. Alright, those buttons are in. We gotta do these buttons still. Buttons are in place. Now, we gotta take the ball off this joystick. And then chuck that as I hit the fucking camera. Chuck that in here. The thing is, I don't necessarily remember which is which. Like which side is up, which side is down. So before I screw that in, we are going to get this plugged into the boardy board. So this is the controller board that, you know, works as the controller that you plug directly into the Raspberry Pi. So we're going to get this plugged in. I don't remember which port goes where, so we're going to figure that out and hope for the best. Okay. And I'm not too sure if I can change it mid, like while it's plugged in still. But we're going to find out. Alright. So all that. I just want to make sure there's no labels on here before I start plugging shit out randomly. And it sure doesn't. Let's get this plugged in. Just hope for the best. Yeah, because each of these nodes represent a different button. And like I said, I don't know what those buttons are currently. So, and there's no labels on here whatsoever. I might have gotten a piece of paper initially when I bought this thing to tell me. Okay, that gives me some answers. Everything is now plugged in. So now, we're not going to screw this in yet until we know it's functioning properly. So let's get this thing plugged in. So we're going to plug that in here. And then it should immediately turn on. Okay. Thank God. Then what we're going to do is we've got the mini monitor here. So we're going to get that powered on. And then we're going to plug the HDMI in as it has a full HDMI port. That's fun. Maybe I plug it over there instead. That sounds like a good idea. It's crazy that the Raspberry Pi doesn't have enough power. There we go. Now it has enough power to do that. All right, and then we will... Ooh boy. You're having a time. I'm not sure if that's whose fault that is. Try to unplug it and plug it back in. Well, the buttons are on. That's good. I hope that this entire project didn't just go to shit because my RetroPie has been in storage and not in a good storage this entire time. That would suck. The other option I have is to try another monitor. and hope just that this monitor sucks. Uh, so I guess, um, hmm, I do have a TV behind me. Give me a sec. All right. I need to make sure I don't lose those pieces, but for right now, this is gonna just have to do. So we'll do this with a proper HDMI and hope for the best. I just realized I probably should have just tested it with the screen that I need to use, but oh well. It's English. Activate voice guide to provide voice guidance for menu volume. No. I am Eastern. Oh, I doxed myself. I think it's off. Uh huh. Home use. Yeah, just watch. Huh? Oh my fucking what? How much? It's a TV. It's not even a smart TV, by the way. This is just a basic TV. Why the fuck? Fine. Yes. Auto. Uh huh. Fine. HDMI one. Can I go next, please? Thank you. Okay, next. Exit, please. Fuck off. No. Am I on HDMI one? What HDMI am I on? Under voltage detected. So that's probably why it's been. Okay. Well, I think it's probably where it's plugged in. So let me plug it in somewhere else that probably has better voltage. All right, there we go. Now we're getting somewhere. Got all that. Hold the A button on your device to configure it. All right. But it looks like this is functioning properly. Now all we gotta do is load games. So I have a USB somewhere. We got the USB, so we're gonna plug that in, and then it should just auto run, hopefully. Okay, so supposedly this is done. So then this should be updated with a bunch of different folders to actually load the ROMs onto. So we'll show that real quick. I should have also mentioned that when I was messing with this, I did clear the drive out and I did make this RetroPie folder before I plugged it into the RetroPie. But now that I did that, BIOS configs and ROMs folders were added by the RetroPie, not me. I like that it's December, January 2022. Okay. So then, yeah, then I can go into ROMs and put whatever ROM I want on here. And we are here for one ROM specifically, so let me put that in there. There we go. I found it. Where is NES? All right. Ta-da. All right. Now, when I plug it back into the RetroPie, it should load the ROM. So we're going to go back there. All right. Now we're going to put the thumb drive back in, and hopefully that will load the ROM I want. If it doesn't, then that means I have to do some probably more configuration that I did not do prior because I didn't load the emulations prior to this. So, yeah. With how annoyed I'm getting with the stupid joystick, I'm just going to quickly do this real quick and attach it to where it's supposed to be. And then we'll go back to figuring this shit out. I'm just going to unplug this for now. I wanted M.4 screws. I bought them on Amazon and immediately regretted it because they smell like absolute dog shit. These should be good. Let me get a screwdriver. That should probably help. This isn't exact science. This isn't even the right fucking bit for this screwdriver. But you know what? Whatever works, I say works. Or not. Why did it not even go in? What? What just happened here? All right, hold on. So it turns out this needs M3 screws. This is M4 screws that I just ordered off of Amazon. Now, I was 90% positive after seeing that I ordered M3 screws. So I double checked on Amazon. And I did. They just gave me the wrong screws. So this is getting fucking returned. It also smells like absolute ass. So I'm glad I'm returning this shit to get my money back. The problem now is I don't have the screws to put this together. So we're going to attempt one more thing to try and jerry rig this together and then go from there. If not, then the good news is this gift is going to somebody after Christmas because I'm not going to see them before or on Christmas. So I can put it together in front of them if I don't have the screws on me. So yeah. Let me check real quick though. So the only possibility I have is that if any of these screws work, and I'm almost positive they aren't, or I wouldn't have ordered it. But let me just check, because these are like Phillips heads, like small Phillips heads that you use on like building PCs and stuff. Let me check. Nope, that's too small. See any of them like thicker than that? That's thicker. Maybe. Let me see. No. Yeah, I got nothing. That's really all the screws I have. These are way too long. I mean, I don't think they're gonna fit anyways, but yeah, they're way too long. Yeah, I'm kind of just stuck now. So I can't put this together. I can get a basic, like a baseline of what it's supposed to look like, I guess. And we can go from there. I'm going to finish the RetroPie stuff to get the software at least up and running. And then I guess that's going to be, man, this video is a shit show from my first video back in a while. But, yeah, so we'll continue the Raspberry Pi setup, I guess, and then just, I guess, come back to this on another day. That is annoying. It's very annoying. Oh, wait a minute. Ooh. Does it load? Okay. That's normal. Oh. I think we're good. I think it's functioning. Probably the best I'm going to be able to get at this point. I guess the other thing I need to do is test the monitor and I think that's all it is. Alright, let's power it on, hope for the best. I think or no, that was that. Oh, okay. It's the other way, but it is working. Oh, that's why they needed an angle. Because it's gonna not fit in here. Okay. But the monitor is working, which is what I need. So that's working. So I'm just gonna end it there. Merry Christmas. This is a shit show. Bye.